ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's Sauce McKenzie. Thank you for tapping into the Concrete Genius Media Podcast. I'm your host. I'm honored that you're here, as always. Thank you. Pardon me for this tremendously fly shit. You know what I mean? If you can't zoom in, this is exclusive Nike shit, like this $140 shirt or something, you know what I mean? In the hat, match the shirt, you know what I mean? The watch, man. You know what I mean? I'm just different. Like, I like being different. I like being fly. It is what it is. Thank you for this wonderful Wednesday pod. It's really kind of interesting because I recorded like a fire and brimstone type pod, but some of it started messing up on me, so I had to like redo it. And it's probably good because I got to rethink that. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer, 8 Tips for Men to Find Peace. How are you? I am well. Now, this is going to be a very interesting episode. I'm going to talk about my time at Stony Brook Middle School. I appreciate it. It was a wonderful blessing in my life to be able to meet such wonderful people, lifelong friendships, and then just the impact of those children and what it did to me. I will forever be indebted to those children of that community. You know what I mean? I know their struggles. I know their challenges. It's such an honor to make them feel warm and loved and protected, and to be a pillar in a storm for Black children where the neighborhood they live in is somewhat hectic. The environment they learn in is somewhat hectic. And then the people who manage the environment they're learning in look at them as some type of behavioral scientific study or something, and not with the same graciousness that they would afford people of their own race. But I digress. Concrete Genius Media. Pardon me too, man. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer, 8 Tips to Find Peace. I know a lot of my kids may be watching this. I love you. We're going to get into the real meat and potatoes of this thing, and I'm going to thank a lot of people. I'm going to acknowledge a lot of people because acknowledgement is very important, and it means the world to me. And I love you guys, and the ability to connect with you guys will forever have a lasting imprint on me and my soul and who I am. All right, now that I got out the way, let's really get into it. But before I start my monologue about Stony Brook and who I love, and then eventually, unfortunately, what I don't like, I like to play this Corey Holcomb clip because it relates to me and everything I've endured with the cornballness of Indianapolis, the hate I received being from Gary, you know, even though I'm one of the most dynamic people walking, from the nerds, and even some recent hate I've dealt with even in Stony Brook by just being a magnificent person that brings light to people. It draws hate from others. When you're a peaceful person and other peaceful people are drawn to you, it irritates the spirit of those who are evil. And especially when you're a protector, because you know you're not saying nothing inappropriate around no kids, to no young Black girls around me. I'm not going. I'm going to hit you in your mouth. You're not going to disrespect no young Black man around me. I'm not going. I'm going to hit you in your mouth. We can make the news immediately, but I'm still polite. I'm articulate. I'm handsome. I'm smelling like money. I'm looking like money. So it's difficult for people who have been poor for generations but have had 400 years of advantages, and they people didn't do nothing for them. That's just tough tits. But I want to play this Corey Holcomb clip to get a real understanding of what I battled and I endured, and then it's going to also really give you a clear understanding of how I feel about things. So let's get into this right quick. This is Corey Holcomb on his own podcast, courtesy of the 5150 podcast. My apologies. Let me see what we got here. Okay. We sharing this. We live. This is Corey Holcomb. Pay close attention.
Let me say that one more time because I want this to really land. If you are elite at something you do, most of the people who do what you do are going to find a way to sabotage what you're doing and act like they don't know what you're talking about if you ever bring it to them. Good at music, making music. The people around you who make music who are not the real deal, they're going to become a problem for you. Know how to do hair. You one of the girls who know how to do the locks real good. But it's another girl who know how to do locks. But she ain't good. She's allowed in your presence. She's going to bring drama to you. Comedy. Rapping. Preaching. Preachers who can't preach worth a shit. Don't like the preachers who know how to move the crowd with the word. Wherever you at, if somebody does what you does, but they are mediocre and you are elite, they're going to cause static if they're allowed in your presence. Elite at what I do. And what am I supposed to be embarrassed to say it? I'm supposed to act like, we all doing this together. No, we not. Really good at that. That stand-up comedy shit, I'm good at it. And if you are elite at something you do, let me say that one more time because I want
All right,
this
this is the second playback on that. I'm gonna stop sharing that, but basically his premise is if you elite at something, people gonna hate at you, and I dealt with that in basketball because I can take average players and make them great, great players and make them greater, and even decent players and make them really, really very serviceable. So I didn't need the connections. I don't need the relationships from college. I didn't need the fraternity relationships. I'm just a great ass coach, and I'm tall, I'm handsome, I look good, I smell good, I'm tough, but I'm also smooth. I got a mouthful of pretty white teeth, and I talk like I know what I'm talking about, and then kids run through brick walls for me. See, I thought that was gonna get me where I needed to be when I first was delusioned coming from the streets, because street dudes respect you from what you come from to where you go. See, if you go from a paper route to a Cadillac, street nigga gonna appreciate you. As long as he ain't no robber or y'all like got some specific shit going about a woman or something, he's gonna respect you because he knows what it takes to get from point A to point Z. He knows what that stack, grind, hard times, take a loss, get back up. Ain't nobody gonna do for you but you. That's a hustler. Never had a problem with nap hustlers. Matter of fact, I have a strong network of nap hustlers that I will always honor and respect for the rest of my life. Those friendships are priceless. And it's a portion of dudes in basketball, I say like 20%, 20 to 25%, that really rock with me. But even then, it's only like a few that publicly can admit they rock with me because there's so many haters. And like I said in the video earlier, you're going to get hated when you excellent and then they can't attach themselves to you. And I'm from Gary. Like, let's be honest, like a lot of these dudes who I won't name, but they've gotten on podcasts and they've said things like, oh, he from Gary, it don't matter, you know. He from matter, don't matter, you know, he from Gary. Oh, shit, I don't. And that's cool, but come on, bro. Like, it is what it is. Niggas won't even admit Michael Jackson the best motherfucker in the world because he from Gary. They'll be like, babyface. So it bothers people who never had to kind of go through the street endurance. And before I get in depth about that, right, I want anybody young watching me, if you have never seen it, I want you to go back and watch a series called The Eyes on the Prize. Just put that in YouTube. It's probably like 10 hours, but it takes you from the beginning of the civil rights all the way to the end of the civil rights movement, late 60s, right? And it breaks it down in depth. And it talks about, it probably starts somewhere around the Montgomery bus boycott. I mean, it starts a little bit before there, but that's where the meat comes in. Now, I say that to say because when the civil rights movement started, it started in black churches. That's where our spirit of rebellion initially came from. Black churches used to be small, community-based, service-based, Christian-based for the people. We didn't have mega churches. We had small buildings, but it was ours. So if you ever see somewhere you in the inner city and you see a little small little church look like a little house that's been around forever, or maybe even a church with some steps that's been around forever, that's probably the original black church. Like, even if you go in parts of Indianapolis where the black people have been living forever, like 29th, 30th Street up in that area, you're going to always find a little quaint black church that's been there forever. Those are the original churches. That's where the civil rights movement began, because blacks had one place where we could gather in large numbers and discuss what was ailing us as a people. And in the church, you can tell when somebody went from the community. Or obviously, if a white man came in, we just, Lord Jesus. Then when he left, we like, all right, look, niggas, we tired of these hunkies. Like, we could really do that. And we did that. And that begat the Montgomery bus boycott, which led to the rising of Dr. Martin Luther King, which led to the civil rights movement, March on Washington, I Have a Dream, and so forth, right? That organic movement started in the church. That terrified the government. That terrified mediocre whites. Because the government has always manipulated poor and mediocre whites to do their dirty work. Like slave border patrols, slave catchers, they kids working at fucking Target right now. They great-great-grandkids. They've always been manipulated. Like it's always some poor white man in a trailer talking about how niggas done messed up his life. So those people were always manipulated. Civil rights movement became a thing. We started feeling better about ourselves. And so at that point, the government decided we have to compromise the black church. Because we can't tell them niggas to go to church. Like, all right? And if we try to take away church, they're going to start having private church, and then we can't control what they say. So, and this is known fact. This ain't nothing I read and studied. You talking to a black American man who mama and grandma from Canton, Mississippi, and who daddy from Memphis, Tennessee. My grandma from Memphis, Tennessee. See, my daddy, grandma had the first black store in the state of Tennessee. I got documentation that my great-grandma used to loan milk, bread, eggs, soap to people in the community on consignment, 8 cents, 6 cents, barber, a bag of rice, and they would pay her back. So I come from a long line of independent strength and blackness. You understand what I'm saying? When my mom moved in her house the very first time in the 1950s, we were the first black family in the neighborhood, and the Klan tried to run her off, and my mom got on the porch with a shotgun like, what's happening? So that's my lineage. My lineage has never been coward. It's always been respect. It's always been hustle. But my mom had to hustle and get her money. My dad had to hustle and get his money. We're not really the kind to work for people because our light is so strong. Our presence is so strong. We handsome. We vibrant. It's hard to control me. So what the government said was, let's get to these preachers. So what they did, they cut a deal with the fraternities and the pastors. That's why, if you notice, a lot of pastors sometimes is in frats. But I digress. They cut a deal with the pastors, because this includes pastors who are not in fraternities, and said, look, we'll grant you XYZ. We'll grant you nonprofit, any type of grants. We're going to work them in for you. We'll give you discounts on construction materials, building these mega churches. But you got to control these niggas. Now, we're going to let you get your jets, your pools, your luxury mansions. We're going to let you have sex with your women, your wife. We're going to let you be on the down low. We're going to let you have sex with the man, you Bishop Eddie Long niggas. Like, you can run wild, but you can't incite the Negroes. That is why when somebody gets murdered in the black community, your pastor can't talk about it until a white man says okay. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that whenever there's an issue about race? Now, if you go in a little small community church or somewhere, you find some little hood church where they pulling up and they parking, it's dirt, it's small, and it's ACs in the window and they blowing. Oh, he gonna tell you, yeah, this some bullshit. We need to get out here and do this and that. He ain't getting the back pay. But them niggas with them mega churches, them shrines, them niggas is getting told what to do. That's why you don't hear preachers talk about the born absolute disproportionate number of missing young black women. Because they can't. They can't talk about people getting killed by the police unless it becomes a sympathetic story that white people okay. So your pastor is controlled to control you, to keep you docile and think that pray it away is the strategy. And I'm not saying violence, but he took away our ability to unify and strategically boycott and strategically make plans. Oh, now he'll let you boycott Target after the Democrats tell them to. Our pastors are controlled by the Democrats and the white dollar. That's why if you've never seen churches say, you know what, we're gonna bond out everybody that's got marijuana charges in the state of Illinois. They could do that with one offering. But they can't do that without the approval of a white man saying, nah, that's not a good look. That's not what you're here for. Okay, boss. So that's what you up against. That's why don't condemn pastors when they get caught in the homosexuality. It's the same premise. It's the same reason why a dude that's in a frat can get arrested for 8 DUIs and being in a car with a baby horse. And his people can't even condemn him. That's the same premise with the pastors. But I digress. That's how you control that factor. The second factor was you had a fella named Malcolm X come along after Elijah Muhammad, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They begat the Nation of Islam. Now here's where it gets tricky. The Nation of Islam actually took people who were considered the scum of the community and cleaned them up and made them whole. Eat right. Stop drinking this poison. Take care of your body. Learn how to defend yourself with physical combat. Keep yourself well-groomed, shaved. Wear a suit, wear a tie. Be respectful. But we not taking no shit. And we're going to demand to be treated as men. We're going to have a defense team called the Fruit of Islam, and we're going to guarantee that our communities are protected. See, the Nation of Islam really scared them, because now I see Martin Luther King just was like, ain't nobody turn me around. Getting hit in the head and shit. And I'm not knocking them for getting hit in the head. Like, you had to have a peaceful set of the movement at that time where they would just wipe you out. So I'm not knocking them. But the Nation of Islam was like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? And so now they had to go to the preachers again and say, well, what can y'all do about it? We can't control them niggas. They don't even go to church. And then that's where they say, you know what? The structure is in the leadership and the black man in the home. We got to destroy that, right? But I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So after the rise of Malcolm X and his unfortunate assassination and everything that went along with that, and once the civil rights movement started dying down, late 60s, early 70s, you know, Vietnam and all that shit, burn the flag and all that shit, people refusing to draft. What they did was they said, okay, we got to stop so much leadership. We can't have nobody turning these young black men into soldiers. They either got to play sports, they got to be controlled scholars, or they just got to be nothing-ass niggas, or they got to be real niggas with a trade or in a warehouse or something. But we can't have them have leadership and be too law-abiding but militant and confrontational. That scared them even worse. So they said, you know what? Let's integrate these niggas. Let's bust these niggas from their communities, because the highways already tore up our neighborhood, the interstate system. That's Eisenhower. That's another podcast. Because I'm giving you knowledge. You want knowledge, this is where you go. I might entertain you sometime, but today I'm in my bag, right? So they say, you know what? We got to take away the leadership. Let's bust these niggas. See, that's why your mother or your auntie had to go from 21st in college to Decatur Central, and the Ku Klux Klan was marching across the street. They didn't want her out there, but they had to destroy black leadership. See, the civil rights movement, it was too many black teachers, too many black leaders, Nation of Islam. So they had to kill that, right? So then the 70s come. Here come the Panthers. Now these niggas is the Nation of Islam on steroids. They're like, okay, you gonna do all this, you gonna do that, you gonna do that. We gonna teach our people this, that. So then they really got heavy on the busing. That's why, if you notice, the militancy in cities like Gary, Indiana, South Side of Chicago, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Harlem, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Atlanta, it's a different mentality because the preachers didn't sell out yet, and they had black people being taught by black teachers and leaders and professors, so that was raising too much uprising. And then when the Panthers came, they were scared to death. All right, so we got to go full-scale assault on these niggas, right? We got to take away, we got to calm these niggas down. Let's throw them a bone, right? Let's put some of these people in position, and then let's take away these summer programs. Let's take away these. See, when I was a kid, it was still some shit where you could just be in high school and you had a job with the city. We used to have guardian angels protecting old people and kids. And then they said, nah, let's put a little cocaine out there. These niggas ain't partying enough. Let's put some more liquor stores out there, and let's kind of work on destroying the self-esteem of these people. So what did they do? They took away our ability to teach each other. They took away our ability to strategize by being in the church. And then they put drugs in our community, and then they told us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And some of us still did that, hence me. And we still can't be principals at school that are predominantly Black. That's the problem. See, it's no way a school like Stony Brook that's so beautiful, got so many Black kids is just bursting with potential, and they can't get a Black principal, right? It's no way you should make $100,000 at this school, or you should be a teacher who talk to them like shit already. You getting 2, 3, 4 stipends, but you send your kids to Mount Vernon, Franklin Central, New Powell. So obviously you don't think the school you're working at is good enough for your child. You shouldn't be able to work there. It's enough talented young minds from Warren that should be positioned into educational roles in Warren. And not just the slave roles, the Negro whisperer will pay you $20 an hour, $14 an hour. Yes, boss. Yes. Yes. And they always gonna get you one that's like, oh, yes. Go see what the niggas doing, boy. Yes. Yes. But I digress. Stony Brook, I love you. So many beautiful people. I'm going to name as many beautiful people as I can remember. Anybody I do forget, blame my head, not my heart, right? So I'm going to start in the order of the way I came in. Gina, I appreciate you. You know how we rock. All the things you allowed me, the information to get access to, the flexibility to take care of my family, the way you were always positive. You are a very vital piece to those students. You are one of the few allies they have. So they need you. Throughout history, Black people have needed certain allies, and they need you. The employees there need you. The children there need you, and we appreciate you, you know. And just my crew, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Graham, you know, you showed me love from the beginning, took me under your wing, gave me the game. We kicked it, we worked together, we covered each other. We totally changed the trajectory of how kids behave towards each other in the 2 years I was there. And for that, I will always honor my OG. I'm just that type of dude. My guys, man, my crew, Mr. Fred, Trimble, Three Amigos, you know what I mean? My brothers, deep conversations, all intelligent Black men who have endured, married men of ethics with grown children where you can discuss anything and trust that the answer you get is a reflection of love from another Black man. That's rare. I'm always be grateful for that. My crew, Feimster, Green, my dogs, I appreciate y'all. Women who have taken their time, Ms. Green took her time and taught these ladies dance. Young ladies, young Black women, young Black girls who will grow to be young Black women. See, that's what we know. That's what white leadership don't know. We water seeds. Y'all look for weeds. That's the difference. But I digress. Screen taught dance, and instead of giving her a stipend because the money was there, y'all pay her an hour like she just working. But she's so dedicated to her people, she did it anyway. Had to raise money for the uniforms. She did it anyway. Ms. Feimster taught a generation of young Black women how to take care of themselves. You cannot put a price on that. As a Black man, I understand how important that is. If there was a Black principal in charge, he would also understand how important that is. But we have that disconnect, and that disconnect is a problem. See, the truth only hurts those who benefit from a lie or injustice. You have to treat Black people better when they're nurturing Black kids. It's Rivers. Come on, man, 9th and Jerry Street, 219. You know how we rock. I don't even got to say nothing. Just healthy, intelligent, grace, beauty, sincerity, kindness, compassion. You're vital to young Black women, and you have been for generations. You come in there every day professionally with grace. You mind your business. You do a perfect job. Miss Spearman, all the ladies upstairs that do a wonderful job. Miss Patterson, you know what I mean? Just all the wonderful teachers. Mr. Young, wonderful music teacher who's teaching Black kids Black music. Culture matters. And I'm not going to just only call out wonderful black teachers. There's some wonderful white teachers. But right now, I'm going to talk about the rest of the black ones. Mr. Cunningham, amazing. Mr. Thomas, I can never say enough. I could never say enough about the effort that you put into black kids learning. Mr. Trimble, obviously. What else we got? Mrs. Sabaya, Miss Owens, Q Owens, he just got there. He's a great asset to the school. Mr. Rogers, Cunningham, just Miss Miles, like my crew, just the twins. Come on, man. Like, I love my people. Mr. Brown, Coach Brown, like, it's a beautiful thing. There's some other good teachers there. Miss Hertz is a phenomenal arts teacher, and she cares about young black girls. That's valuable. Miss Kurtz is a phenomenal teacher. She cares about young black children. See, you can see the sincerity in people's eyes or hearts and how they talk to people. And I don't mean buttering them up, but they talk to them with a certain authority that they care. Drill Sergeant Claudel, she cares about the growth of her kids. I saw how those kids interact with her. See, me, I speak the truth, whether it hurts black or white. And I would never mistreat a person that has a beautiful spirit just because they're white. That would make me the very thing I despise, and I will never be that. But I'm also going to never not tell the truth just because it hurts the feeling of somebody white. Because if I can tell you about yourself, you black, I need to tell you about yourself, you white, you Mexican, you green, you gay, you straight. You're going to know it, right? Mr. Grice, amazing. Amazing, man. You brought culture to the school. What you did for that dance last year was legendary. Before you got there, they was treating them niggas like they was damn near was in juvenile detention. Throw some pizza and shit on the table, plug in a little Beats pill and put a playlist on, had an AD find a playlist. That's not how you treat black children. You get black children experiences. See, I'm here to give you the culture that you're missing. That's why they miss me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is real live game right here, Mr. Johnson. I appreciate you. The beautiful women in the cafeteria, the beautiful custodial staff, Miss Tammy, big folks, my people, you know what I'm saying? Carlos, my Hispanic brethren, my Haitians. Like, I'm never going to mistreat anyone. And that genuineness I showed reflected in the admiration they had for me. Miss Birdsong, Miss Lee. Come on, man. Like, young black women who are there with endless amounts of potential, and you guys are smothering them. Miss Birdsong should really be a counselor. Damn near assistant principal. Miss Lee, like, these people should be in higher positions. Stop hiring black people to be the Negro whisperer. You make $130,000, but you got to call a black person to calm down a 9-year-old. Or if not, you got to suspend them. Because they not going to relate to you. They're not going to tell you their problems. I appreciate Mr. Gabi. Mr. Gabi's a good man. He does his best. I appreciate that. And whatever kind of cultural differences he runs into, he's expressed them to me, and that's honorable to me. I respect that. I respect Mr. Anderson. Great man, very stern. I didn't understand him at first, but he cares. And that's another thing we have to do as people of different backgrounds and races. Before you judge, sometimes somebody might just have a bad day. Somebody, they may be an asshole to everybody. Or they just trying to keep things in order that you haven't seen not be in order. And that was my situation with Mr. Anderson, but I had the utmost respect for Mr. Anderson. Mr. Alfred. Mr. Alfred's a phenomenal football coach. Mr. Alfred is the best coach in any sport in that building. If Q don't coach. Yeah, like, it ain't even close. He's the only person that I feel like is qualified in that building to coach anything at a high school. Matter of fact, to coach anything at another middle school. But I digress. Miss Garen's a wonderful teacher. I appreciate Miss Garen. She get a little, can you tell them to calm down sometime a little bit? But she's a good girl. I ain't got no beef with Miss Garen. She kind of, I like her, so I don't want her to catch no strays. I think Parker's a great teacher. Parker has great teaching methods. So I'm not here to not tell the truth. Here comes the truth. Now, when I first went, ideally I wanted to coach the boys. I had just coached Warren freshman that summer. We went 13-1. Shout out to them boys finna be what, juniors? It was 2 Stony Brook kids on the team. It was Chase and Caden. Both were good players, but I can tell nobody had taught them how to play basketball till me and Coach Terrence Miles got them. Now, Chase will be the starter at Warren because we prepare him to play for Coach Byers. If Chase doesn't play for me and Coach Miles, he doesn't make varsity. He's not going to be able to tolerate Coach Byers without tolerating us. And I say that to say that the one problem at Stony Brook is the athletic incompetence. It's despicable. And I say this because you wouldn't want your kids playing in an athletic situation as horrible as Stony Brook. So why do you think these kids from these impoverished neighborhoods deserve this? At least 20 to 40 kids a year across all sports in Stony Brook are denied athletic opportunities due to coaching incompetence or cronyism with the stipends. You have too many coaches who don't relate to kids who are getting multiple stipends and ain't won 3 games. You coaching 3 sports and ain't win 5 games total in nothing. Like, are you just showing up and saying, fuck it, they don't listen, these niggas don't listen? Like, talk to me what's happening. And the AD, I really thought you were my friend, buddy. You know, we talked football, we yucked it up, you know, we talked FanDuel, and just good conversation, conversation. Trips to Green Bay. And when I came, they had Polk and Gamble coaching basketball. I love Mr. Polk. He's a sweet guy. I like Mr. Gamble. He's from the crib, so I'm gonna make this as light as possible. But neither one of those gentlemen know shit about basketball. You got Walker in there, you got Q Owens in there. Put somebody in charge that's gonna allow these boys to get scholarships. That first year, that 8th grade year when Damaris and all them was there, I could have did something special with that group. I could have got that group top 4 in the county. Easily. And I was hungry, fresh off a great summer. But y'all stuck me with the girls, and I love my girls. Leah, Mariah, Maishan, Kaden, Kamila. Like, they're my babies. I don't regret none of that. But that's what you had me doing. And then a good team. Star, Denasia, all of them. You gave them the Parker the year before, kind of moved Johnson around. But that was before me, so I digress. I could have did a lot more with that if I had them from the beginning my way. Like, why do I always got to come in and humble myself because y'all need stipends in Hancock County? Are y'all doing that bad financially that you can, without guilty conscience, constantly coach ineptitude? And the football. I don't have no beef with Mr. Taylor. I'm sure he's a great guy. They ain't disrespecting me. I ain't gonna disrespect him. But men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers are atrocious. Not just the fact that they win 1 or 2 games a year, but the fact that we have by far the least amount of players playing varsity. And the ones that do play varsity are phenomenal athletes that would have played varsity anywhere. But the majority of varsity players come from Raymond Park. And so you're denying potential Black kids an opportunity for a free education. See, incompetence in sports starts at the middle school level. And this is painful. Bottoms up, bottoms up, bottoms up. But I digress. Development starts at the middle school level. So that's where our Black kids are losing their scholarships. Because the high school coaching at Warren is excellent. From freshman to JV to varsity, football, basketball, track, it's phenomenal. And make Miss Birdsong the track coach. Like, get her on the staff. She's a state championship coach, and let her run track. Like, stop screwing over young Black kids because people got to pay their bills. Like, you got to work at a school you don't want to be at, around kids you not giving your all to coach. And I'm not talking about Ms. Grimes. I'm not talking about you. But in general, and you getting 0. And who's holding the AD accountable? And see, I wouldn't even be doing this, but I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't want to be the bad guy. Last year, I wanted to hire a coach from Pike. She graduated in 21, hell of a hooper, a little bit. Very intelligent basketball coach. She is going to be a star for the next 30 years in basketball if she chooses to be. That's how brilliant her brain is and her communication skills are. Love you a little bit. You like a child. Not like a child. You like one of my own children. I love you, right? Brought her in. I said, hey, man, this is I want to be my coach. He said, man, we already got Garen. I'm like, how you gonna ask me to coach and then I can't tell who to poach? So you giving out stipends? Are you taking side deals for stipends? You just giving them in the order of who need money or what's good? And I think Garen's actually a pretty good coach. But man, you got a fucking gym full of Black girls, bro. They need a Black woman in there with them. I'm sorry. That's what it is. See, these conversations are only hard when black people say it and tell white people, like, give us a little space, let us raise our own. Because they ain't gonna hire 3 black people to coach in Hancock County. I don't care how good your resume is. They're gonna want kids that look like them coaching them. And then they're gonna make sure you're competent. And they still gonna fire you if you're not competent, and then they still gonna find somebody else that look like them. So why are our kids losing out on valuable development time, going to practice 10 hours a week to learn shit, just to get to high school and get cut? Cut in track, cut in cross country, cut in football, cut in girls basketball, cut in boys basketball. Man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. The whole athletic department, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. All y'all doing is plantation pimping these kids. That's it. And that's a cold word. But when you tell you show me where I'm lying, and I got 1,000 for you. So I say, you know what? I ain't got no beef with Garen, and Garen knows her basketball, actually. She's very good at communication. So I had no beef with her, and I told she's kind of like standing on the border. Like, she hasn't done none of that. She's a great person. So I don't want to slander her. She's just kind of somebody got caught in the mix. So let me make this sound respectful as possible. So I said, damn, you can't get another stipend for my people and shit? And we got all kind of stipends. We got husband and wives coaching cross country. We got people coaching tennis. We got people coaching football and track and all type of shit, bro. Wrestling. The wrestling is fucking awful. The only good wrestlers was already good anyway. Them kids ain't learning shit, bro. But I digress. Again, I keep getting off track, man, but this train is going to get where it's got to go. And so I say, you know what, coach, I want you to be coached so bad that I'm going to take my stipend and split it with you. I'm cool. I'm just using mine for gas. So I get the first stipend. They hit you with about $2,000, about $1,400, $1,500, first one. So I'm like, all right, boom, here you go. Boom, send her shit. I got mine. So I had some family issues. I got to take a leave of absence. I'm gone. I said, coach, hold it down. You can get the whole second half of the stipend. I don't want none of that. You know what I mean? I got bread. She goes in there. She helps the other ladies coach. She manages the black kids. Told you about the Negro Whisperer. Finishes the season, tries to coach 7th grade, wins games with 4 or 5 players, 3 6th graders, wrapping teams together, right? 8th grade's horrible, right? And then when black kids are horrible, why is it always they don't listen? But when white kids are horrible, it's like, we got to get a better coach. That's another thing. Again, why is it when black players are not good, it's like, oh, these kids don't listen. I ain't got no talent. It's you. You're supposed to be teaching. If your kids can't read, you can't teach. If your kids don't learn math, you can't teach. So if your kids can't play football, you can't teach. If your kids can't play baseball, soccer, track, you can't teach. And if your coaches don't win, you're not directing nothing. And this may seem hostile, but such is life. So I say, man, pay her, you know? And they give them a run around, call them, like, hey, what's up, baby girl? Get your money. Nah, coach, they playing with me. So I call them, I had to go through some shit like, man, get that girl her money. She get her money. And still ain't what it's supposed to be. So cool, whatever. This year, like the gentleman that I am, I say, you know, I'm putting in my 2-week notice. I put in my notice. I think about it. I said, man, do I want to coach? I don't want to coach. I said, bro, I ain't coaching, bro. You got to find another coach. I'm tired of coaching girls. You know, I got another young coach I want to put in place with the boys. And I already said I'm not coaching. I'm a free agent. I got my freedom papers. I'm free. Somebody tells me the Raymond Park job is open. I reach out to the Raymond Park AD. I don't want to coach in no fucking Raymond Park, bro. I'm trying to put somebody in place because the coaches at Warren, Miles, and Byers is my guys. I just want to get them some shit to try to. I want Coach Byers to kind of squeeze another championship out of there before we call it a day. I'm trying to throw him one, right? Email to Raymond Park AD. He emails me 10 minutes later and says, somebody already got the job. Now, I know from my inside sources at Raymond Park that the job was open. And I also know from my inside sources that the Raymond Park AD called the Stony Brook AD, who I thought was my friend, man. We talk parlays. Come on, buddy. He told him, don't hire him. Is that because you don't want me to embarrass your coaches? And I wasn't even coaching. I was going to put somebody in place, give him the stipend, act like he was my assistant, and vamp. Listen, bro, this is 3 stipends. I don't want to give you the middle finger. Well, this ain't the middle finger. This is like a salary and a half and overtime. And then some peanuts and shit from field day to concessions. I ain't even tell you what this is. And then I drive a jet to school, man. Like, what? If you didn't know I was Django, you really got a bad way of evaluating niggas. Been a free man a long time, and that hurt my feelings. And I know you did it because you couldn't look me in the eye for a few days. The handshakes weren't as strong. And that hurt me, man, and I don't have to take my hurt with me. I want you to understand that I know you tried to hurt me, man. But God bless you. I forgive you, man. God is the final decision maker. John 3:16. For God gave us his only son, John Loudon. So, yeah. And also, I'm finna be middle school coordinator around the state of Indiana. I'm going to all the good high school programs. Got about 30 coaches already on the list. Interviewing coaches, profiling players. I'm going to middle schools. I got like 16 middle schools on the list. I'm profiling the good coaches, profiling the bad players. Because I want kids to get shine that deserve it. But on the flip side, my guy, I'm going to expose every bad coach I see in Marion County. But not in a malicious way. I'm just going to tell the truth. All right, so I'm here and watching Stonybrook versus Lyndhurst. None of these players can dribble with their left hand. Nobody can break a trap. This kind of parents need to know where to send their kid. And if y'all ain't going to let us put black ADs and coaches in positions, then I'll just put parents in positions. That's my service to you. And don't thank me. Thank the Lord. Thank my parents. Pay it forward. Donate something. Buy a young girl some clothes, some shoes. You know, I bought over 20 pair of shoes in that school. I never took a picture. I never told nobody. I snuck. Every day I come in there with that backpack. I got clothes. I got shoes. I'm giving shit away. And you know, kids, let's take a picture. Put this on the ground. I never want to take a picture. Not made a kid. Never promised. Don't ever tell nobody I gave you nothing. But you know who know? That kid. Yeah, man. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer, if you want to change the game. I got a couple more books coming out, too. Let's share this, see this, make sure the world see this. I appreciate y'all now. Don't get out of control. And this one ain't messed up. And these shades, probably half a stipend. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Nigga, I ain't paid a car note since George W. Bush was in office, nigga. I am a real hustler. Like, I'm too fly to have to beg. Could you imagine a nigga being able to control my shit? Them niggas will have me dressing like Huck Finn in that motherfucker. I'm too fly, too handsome, too smart. My teeth too pretty. I've been through too much. Come on, man. I'm too masculine of a man to let somebody control my financial endeavors. I can draw up a logo in 4 hours, and that's $1,200, man. I can build you a website and a logo. And I can get a brand, a major brand, alcohol, food, beverage, clothing, to merge with your business within 2 weeks. And you know what my commission is? 20%, buddy. So if somebody makes a deal for $400,000 and I get 20%, that's 10 stipends. I really don't need it, but I need my people to know. So if you live in Warren, here's the game plan, right? I'm not going to knock Stony Brook as a school because I got too much respect for the school, the logo, Miss True. Even though I had last day kind of by, I told her I rock with her. I ain't going to switch up because that last day that kind of threw me off a little bit, but that's going to stay between us. But I just got too much respect for the people there, the school, the institution. I ain't going to never slander the school. And matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. If your kid want to sing in the choir, Stony Brook probably got the best choir teacher. If your kid want to learn art, the art teacher's amazing. If your kid want to learn orchestra, they got a good orchestra teacher. She ain't the most polite or mannerable motherfucker. She walk around like she ain't had sex in 44 years. But she knows her orchestra. The music teacher is really good. I'm not knocking them. PE is good, right? Science and math is excellent. ELA, excellent. Foreign language was near excellent. I'm not knocking none of that. If your kid just want to get education, that's the place for you. But if your kid want to go to college in any sport and you live in Warren, I'm going to give you some game. If it's football, send them to Raymond Park. If it's basketball, send them to Creston. If it's volleyball, send them to Creston. If it's cross country, send them to Raymond Park or Creston. If it's track, probably Creston, just because both of them got good coaches, but Creston got track athletes, but Raymond Park got a lot of football players on the track, so it's 50-50. If it's wrestling, send them to Creston. Shout out Mr. Graham. Why Mr. Graham got to go coach at Creston? So you a dirty motherfucker, man, and I can't take it no more, you know? And I love the kids, but, man, I'm getting these contracts. I'm talking in these schools. I'm writing these books. And I owe these kids a voice. See, I'm the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ. But if your kid just want to have fun, be smart culturally, Stony Brook, cool. It's cool. But if they playing any sport, I wouldn't go there until it's major, major drastic changes. Because they had the least athletes on any sport at any school. And they still taking home full paychecks. When are we going to hold coaches and people, accountable? I hope I blessed a lot of people today. I blessed myself. And I love you. I hope you take this the right way, but if you don't got to speak. Like, just do the fake look away like, there go that guy. But if I touched you and I told the truth and it's still love, give me a hug, give me a hug, give me a hug. And before I go, I want to ask people. This is for my TikTokers and my guys on X. Who was the worst president? George W. Bush or Donald Trump? I know Donald Trump gets the Negroes emotional. Sometimes I get a little emotional. He can be sometimes shocking in his words. But let's not act like George Bush didn't steal the 2000 election in the state that his brother Jeb was the governor in. You gonna trust a nigga who brother named Jeb? Fuck out of here. Stole election from Al Gore. Twin Towers got knocked down. That was a tragedy on your watch. You invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, who had shit to do with it. All the hijackers were from Saudi, but you not fucking with that money. Oh, them Saudi niggas have niggas sneak in your closet and kidnap you. I'm not fucking with them niggas either. But you bombed the wrong people because you went over there for oil and war contracts and money. See, you, Cheney, Rumsfeld, y'all were dirty scandals. And then to top it off with Bush, Katrina. And I know some of you niggas, man, Trump, the pandemic. Nigga, the pandemic was not worse than Katrina. Now, the way hospitals handled the pandemic, the way vaccination companies pimped the pandemic, that was worse than Katrina. But Katrina, the actual act, man, they was hunting black people like dogs. We was drowning. People were living in a Superdome getting... Ask somebody from New Orleans about Katrina. That's what you niggas got to do. Y'all got to start having compassion for other black people in other parts of the country and get their story for y'all just downplay shit that affected people. That shit hurt me so bad talking to people from New Orleans when it first happened. I be meeting people who evacuated to Atlanta, to Houston, everywhere. I be meeting people on the road. They was evacuating. Nashville, all type of places. That hurt me so bad I can't even watch the documentary. Let's not act like Bush was a saint because Trump gets you in your feelings. See, black people too much in our feelings. Joe Biden has said more racist shit than Donald Trump ever has. He oversaw the worst law for black people since Reconstruction. So you go to prison for 5 grams of crack, but you need 500 grams of powder cocaine, and your son a crackhead? You a dirty motherfucker, boy. And Joe a little pedophile-ish, a little R. Kelly-ish. She be touching on them little girls in some videos, rubbing on them and kissing on them and shit and getting all excited. You know what an old pedophile look like. Stop playing with me. But when Joe Biden got elected, you niggas did the cha-cha slide in the street. So let's stop being emotional about who's in there and figure out what's helping us and hurting us. But you niggas was so happy to have a sorority sister and a half black Indian woman in the White House, and I don't got no beef with Kamala Harris. However y'all want me to say it. Kamala. I'm not gonna disrespect her. But I don't have no beef with her. But y'all were so eager to have that y'all just forgave Biden for anything. This motherfucker told us if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If Trump said that, y'all would be calling him a Klansman. So let's keep the playing field equal, the conversations equal. Let's be rational. So this is a rational discussion and a rational question. Who's the worst president between George Bush and Donald Trump? Please leave a comment, share, and let me know what you think, because this discussion went very, very intense on Facebook. So I want to bring it to my talkers and my Xers my Instagram folks, like everybody rock with the squad. Even you on Buzzsprout or something, hit me on YouTube, jump in the comments. But I need to know who was the worst president between Bush and Trump. All right, man, I'm signing off. I got things to do. Dinner's ready. Wheel of Fortune's coming on. And I don't got to go to work tomorrow. Everybody at Stony Brook, I love you. Protect them kids. I gave a lot of them little girls my number, so if any of y'all get weird, y'all start touching on kids. I gave a lot of them little boys my numbers. You know, y'all niggas be weirdos too, so don't let nobody curse at you. Don't let nobody talk to you wrong. I gave numbers to parents. Get this to your parent, right? You need $20. See this teacher, he gonna call me. I'm gonna cash app him. He gonna give you the money. That's the legacy I want to leave. I'm gonna always be there for those children. And you know what makes me the realest? Those children will grow up to be young adults. See, I get loved by the kids that don't got to dribble a basketball or be 6'8" or get ready to go to the University of North Carolina or something. That's the difference between me. A lot of these hoop niggas, they got to stand next to a nigga to feel important. Hey, my boy, this, man, I remember my boy, 1984, that nigga had Acura. That's my best friend. Oh, I'm on vacation with my best friend. You niggas can't blow up a hot water balloon with hot water. Stop playing with me, man. Like, and now it's like, you niggas hate it, and like, you still gotta see this shit. You still couldn't destroy this shit. You fuck niggas still can't break this shit. I see you niggas in the back of them little ass Ubers, them Priuses and shit, man. Your knees and shit hurt, bucking. Your niggas sweating and shit from the pork and the cheap vodka. Talk about me as much as you need. I'm a child of Jesus Christ. And I love my family. I love my life. And I wouldn't trade my life for yours twice. That's how miserable I know you motherfuckers is. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. This has been the realest of the real. 60 minutes in. Let me know what you think. Tell a friend. Share it. Follow me on all socials. And ask me about how you can get a podcast, how you can make some money, how you can network with your brand. You want to start a blog. You want to write a book. Anything you want to do, I'm your guy. Peace, my nigga.